Today we are going to talk about marriages and about how having the mutual understanding about finances is important for winning financially. Hello and welcome. My name is Peter B and I welcome you here at My First Million, where we achieve our financial goals together. So, I just recently read on Ramsey's solution that money is the number one issue for married couple when it comes into arguing, when they're fighting against each other. The most common issue is money or money related discussions or matters. Also, money is one of the major issues that leads to divorces. So, having a good mutual agreement about money related matters will not only help you winning financially and faster together, but also will be important for having a good outcome in your marriage and having a happy life together. So I think the first step that we need to take is that we openly talk about money matters in our marriage. Not only during the marriage, but even before the marriage, with your girlfriend or boyfriend, before they become your spouse. Talk to them about their ideas of money, their concepts of money, and have a mutual understanding about it. And then also during the marriage, often continuously have discussions about money decisions, about how the couple is going ahead and in which direction regarding financial decisions. This will be very helpful to always keep an alignment with one another. Even though maybe there can be differences, but you can make sure what are the boundaries that each of you can accept, and each of you will feel safe and secure in the marriage. So one discussion topic is about how to deal with debt. And this is also, I think, especially what should be discussed, not just during the marriage, but also before you get married. Maybe one of the two people has no debt and feels insecure with debt. The other person maybe already before marriage amassed a huge amount of debt. So there could already be some friction before going into the marriage. And I wouldn't say that having debt is a deal breaker. Even though having debt, maybe this person still might be the right one for you and for your life ahead. But at least when it comes to debt, there should be a mutual understanding how to tackle that. What shouldn't be okay is that one of the two people feels very insecure about that, and the other person feels like he or she doesn't need to do anything about their debt situation, and it's even okay if they continue to add on additional debt. So there need to be an understanding on how you're tackling that. Then the next question, of course, is separate or joint finances. There are a lot of opinions out there, and I certainly will not give you, I don't want to give you instructions how you should be doing that. Just make the decision by yourself. But again, with your partner together, so that however you're dealing with finances, that it works well for both of you, that you both feel is the right way how to do it. For me personally, and for my wife, we completely have joint finances. Everything we earn together. Everything we spend together. And I feel like for our marriage, in my personal situation and in my experience, that works best. It even, I think, strengthened our feeling that we are really trying to win together financially. If the earnings is not just from my side, from my pocket, and from my wife's side to her pocket, but we earn that together for our family. We started from nothing Basically, going back to in our history, we started from nothing, and where we are now is what we achieved until now is everything what we built up together. So I'm completely pro joint finances, but I of course can understand there are difficulties and there are contrapoints about joint finances. So, but I leave it up to you. But again, at least the discussion should be there, and there need to be a mutual understanding. How is the best way to deal with money? Then also, a next question, which is financial related, is how much to focus on your career. Not only your career, but also your spouse's career. Who is taking charge of earning the money? Is it you? Is it your spouse? Is it both of you together? Is it maybe one of you is the main income earner and the other one maybe brings in some additional money? Then of course also kids will come into the discussion. Who will take care of the kids? And then also how usually the one who take care of the kids usually earns less. So especially if they then separate accounts, then the question will be how you will compensate for the one who is giving up on his career or cutting back on his career in order to take care of more of the kids. So these are all questions that need to find alignment. Then also, of course, there need to be agreement on how to spend your money. Especially if you don't have the same hobbies, if you have different hobbies, and some of the hobbies are maybe a little bit more expensive, there need to be an agreement within the couple on how much money can go toward different categories in the budget, so to speak. For instance, for hobby, of course we all want to have a happy and joyful life, but also you need to be in agreement with your spouse that whatever you spend toward your hobby will not put any financial pressure on your marriage. Like other decisions, especially the big decisions on expenses, needed also to be done together. Whether you buy a house, what kind of house or apartment, buying a car, going for nice vacations together, maybe have other like bigger insurance expenses like life insurance or health insurance expenses. These kind of big ticket items should always be discussed together and should always consider both partners' opinion, and you need to make sure that whatever your decision is going to be, that your partner also agrees to the decision and thinks it's the right choice for your long-term financial plan. And now this just leads me to the next topic. Long-term financial planning also should be done together as early as possible, at least when you get married, but maybe even before you get married, you can already having the first discussions about this. About one big topic about long-term financial planning is having children. Do you want to have children? And if yes, how many? Of course, this will have a huge impact on your financial outcome. Then, when you have children, maybe you should have discussions about college funds, again, about long-term planning, so that you don't suddenly have a huge, big expense once your children are in college age, especially for those people who are living in the United States. And then, of course, maybe the biggest ticket long-term and the longest term planning issue for financial aspects is retirement. How much you put aside each month, each year towards retirement. When do you plan to retire? What's the lifestyle that you hope to expect that you want to achieve during retirement? So then on the last point, you also need to be in line with your spouse on how to invest. Where will you put your money in? What risks especially are you willing to take? Maybe you're kind of a risk taker because bigger risk usually also bring back bigger rewards, as long as you're not just YOLOing your money into some very risky assets. But maybe your spouse is much less of a risk taker and is much more risk averse. So you need to have a mutual understanding. How much risks are you willing together as a couple are willing to take? Is it either buying like a rental properties, investing into stock markets, or like getting more and more maybe less diversified and more allocated into just one specific investment? This kind of discussion should be happening within the couple, so that you are not just taking the risks that maybe your spouse isn't willing to take, or vice versa. If your spouse want to take some risk, that they will discuss with you first before doing the investment. So to sum this up, in a marriage, I think everything comes down to be on the same page and have a mutual agreement on what exactly you want to do, what your goals are, where you want to go, and work together as a team to win financially. Thanks a lot for joining me today. I look forward to see you soon again, and especially I look forward to see you winning financially.